Hi everyone, how are you doing? Thank you for stopping by my channel. And so today I wanted to talk with you about intermittent fasting. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It's basically when you eat during a certain time of the day and then you block off the rest of the time without eating. And so I really don't like to call it dieting because a lot of people actually adopt this lifestyle and it has worked wonders for them. I had heard about it about 3 or 4 years ago. I actually found out about it on Periscope, and there was a guy that was doing a Periscope video. I want to say he was in like the 400-pound range, 300 to 400-pound range, and he lost a crazy amount of weight, and then he ended up down to like the low 200 pounds all the way down to like maybe like the high 190s, something like that. And so I followed up on it just a little bit, but I didn't really kind of stick with it because I really didn't think too much on it. And it wasn't until over the past few years, as I've learned about health and going back and forth to the doctor, I just don't believe in just dieting. I think that how you eat and how you exercise and live your life is a lifestyle. It's not just taking shortcuts, because when you try to take shortcuts, it's going to backfire and then you're going to end up right back where you were in the beginning. So just kind of like look at it as like a lifestyle change. And now there are different types of intermittent fasts. The one that I chose was the 16-8. And that one is basically you are fasting for 16 hours and you're eating during a 8-hour block of time. And so people do it during different times. Make sure that if you are considering this or even thinking about doing it, consult with your doctor or physician or a healthcare provider to make sure that this is safe for you, especially if you have any health conditions or concerns. And so you don't want to dive into something and it could actually potentially harm you. And so just wanted to go ahead and put that disclaimer out there. And so I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician, I'm not a licensed healthcare practitioner or anything like that. I'm just talking about my perspective. Consider like the way that your body is, like your body, what makes you hungry, the best times to eat, and I'm sure that what your weaknesses are, especially things that you love to eat, and things that that aren't, of course, good for you. And I find myself like every time I go to the doctor's always saying that, oh yeah, your blood pressure's so high, and now it's my cholesterol's high, and of course I don't exercise like I should. I wouldn't say that I'm completely sedentary when it comes to exercise, but I know that I could get more exercise in, and I should. And I have a gym membership, and so I know I should go more often, or at least walk around the park or the lake or something. And so the reason why I chose the 16-8 block is because I think it will work better for me, at least in the beginning. And I'm actually part of different Facebook groups, and I have seen people's transformation, and it is amazing, and it is long term. Now, I know that I have family members that are doing the keto and stuff like that. And to me, in my opinion, keto is just like the Atkins diet, but more fancier, and so I just don't want to restrict myself from certain carbs. I don't think that it's a bad thing if you have some pasta every now and then, or, some quinoa or something. And so that's just me. But I just didn't want to limit myself to things like that. And I know what makes my body gain fuel. I know what makes it sluggish, etc. But I know one thing I like is sugar. Like I like to eat sweets, but that's not good for me. And so I had to take that into consideration. Also, salt and things like that I know I can't eat. The 16-8, you can be very flexible with it. Like you don't really have to stick to a certain time all the time, because I've talked with people that alternate the times in which they do their fast, and I've seen people that aren't on their medications anymore, and because of how they eat and how they adopt their new lifestyle, and that's them. And so for me, like I didn't want to do it just to lose a couple pounds real quick. I wanted to see, okay, when should I really stop eating? Because I found myself eating throughout all times of the night. And I know that my mother has the same habit of doing the same thing, like just waking up in the middle of the night and eating some cookies. And I find myself doing that all the time. Like why am I eating cookies? And my body was craving certain things, and I knew that it was not healthy. And also, like I take things into prayer. And so I want to make sure that I incorporate God into everything that I do, because He's my creator. And so He created my temple. And so I want to make sure that I take good care of it. And so I would say I technically started on Sunday. Today, like I did pretty good. And when I got on the scale, I think I lost like 1.5 pounds. But when you lose weight, you're losing mostly water weight, because when you do this type of intermittent fasting, you want to make sure that you're exercising. And so I'm going to schedule times when I will be able to do that, to at least take some time to get some exercise and to make sure that my body is active and, building lean muscle and stuff like that. The hunger is not, surprisingly, like, I have not been crazy hungry. And it just surprised me, because normally if I don't eat after a certain time, I'm always hungry. And even if I had eaten something, like, I would find myself still hungry. And I realized that even when I used to be vegan, like, I wasn't getting enough protein. When I do eat enough protein or drink the protein or whatever, then I'm fine. Like, I feel satisfied for a long period of time. And so I did not want to include a lot of red meat and certain types of things in my diet, because it just didn't make me feel good. That's one thing I had to consider. But I noticed that even today, what I ate mostly, like, I had some watermelon. I was never really a big watermelon eater, but I bought some today just to curb my appetite. So instead of me going out and buying like cakes and pies and cookies like I would normally eat, I just had some watermelon because Publix had them on sale, buy one get one free. I think I had a leftover sub or something, and I had that. And I had a few chips because I had leftover from the other day, and then I had some more watermelon. I was treated to Tijuana Flats, and so I had like almost all of my bowl. I think I ate about 75% of my bowl, but I was full. Surprisingly, I was full, and I can honestly say that I was satisfied. And even this morning, like, when you fast, like, you can only drink certain things in the morning depending on how you're doing your fast. So it depends on when you start your fast. So if you're starting your fast like late in the evening, then of course you're not, of course, eating or drinking anything until the next day or however long you're doing it. But I know for me, like, when I woke up, I had some coffee. Most people drink just black coffee because you want to stick to anything under 50 calories. And me, I have to have like cream or sweetener in my coffee. I was satisfied with just having dairy-free cream, and I was perfectly fine with that. It didn't really bother me. And surprisingly, like, usually if I don't eat or have some type of meal early in the morning, I feel very dizzy. And I had to make sure, because even like when I got my blood work done, want to make sure I wasn't diabetic or whatever. But after that, like, I had some coffee, and I couldn't believe that I was like fueling myself. And it wasn't because of the caffeine, because it was mainly like decaf. So I was okay for a while, but I couldn't wait until that time ended so I could eat something. I wasn't gonna lie, I was hungry. And so, but yeah, I was drinking plenty of water. But I was like, wow, like, my body feels even different. Like, it's not like in starvation mode. Kind of like, because I was brought up military, like, I just believe that you should eat to live, not live to eat, and that's something that I want to incorporate. And I've seen people's testimonies. I've seen people's stories of how they've lost weight doing this, but it worked for them because it also broke bad habits of, eating bad all the time. So you can't just try to do an intermittent fast just to lose weight and still eat what you want. You can't really do that because it's not going to work. You want to make sure that you're incorporating healthy things, and then also getting some either light to moderate to heavy exercise, however you want to do it. But I would say when you start off, just start off light. And even if you're starting off and you're like, okay, I can only fast during this time, just build your way up, And there's an app I found online. I think it's called Get Fast or something like that. And so that worked for me. And it's a free app. And so you basically just kind of pick which intermittent fast that you're on, and it just tracks you, and it tells you what time you can start your fast and what time you end it and things like that. So it's pretty neat. It's really simple. And so there are a lot of tools out there if you guys are interested in utilizing those. And so if you're not really quite sure if this is for you, I will leave some information down there in the description box below about intermittent fasting and what it is and what it is not. And so you can just kind of pick and choose what you want to do if you're interested in doing it. But I just would like to get myself back into shape like I used to, but not just so much for the physical aspects of it, but for my health, and I do have to go back to the doctor very, very soon. And so I know he's going to want to see my cholesterol levels. I know he's going to want to see, how much weight I've lost, because even I've gained a ridiculous amount of weight. And, I know you guys have been watching me over a period of time, if you've been watching me for a period of time. And so, you probably have noticed maybe I gained some of my hair in my face and stuff. And the main reason why is because of the hypertension medicine that I'm on. So I have to keep my blood pressure down, and it just blew me up. And the doctor put me on you know, water pills, you know, diuretics, but I don't like the way they make me feel. They make me feel dizzy sometimes. Even if I'm drinking plenty of water, you know, drinking some electrolytes, whatever, it's just, I don't like the way they make me feel. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I still have to make sure I take those with balance, even if I do take them, because I know my legs swell. And sometimes that's why that's one of the reasons why I wear skirts a lot, is because of the swelling. And those are some of the side effects of taking high blood pressure medicines, is you swell up, you blow up. And because it lowers your metabolism, and it does something else. I forgot what it is, but it just makes you blow up. And so, but yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that I had energy today. I started feeling a little sluggish, like towards the end of today, because right now it's in the late evening. And so, but I had some dinner, and after that, which was somebody treating me out to Tijuana Flats, and so just making sure that I'm staying hydrated. You have to stay hydrated. Like, there's no other way around it, you know? And so, but yeah, definitely I'm going to track my progress and keep you guys updated and let you know how things are going. But really, again, this isn't just for the physical part of it. This is just to get myself right, because sometimes you have to break old habits. And not that you're like wanting to be the way you are, but you know, it makes no sense to keep going to the doctor and taking all these pills when you can at least try different methods to get yourself better. But honestly, like, I mean, even like I said, like I started the other day and I noticed like a little change. I lost like 1.5 pounds, you know, but, and I think that's mostly water, because I've been drinking a lot of water. But at the same time, like, my body was not craving things like I used to. And I'm like, okay. He said, no, I had a little bit of junk food today, not like a lot, but I had like a few Pringles, you know, that I had left over from yesterday, but it wasn't a whole lot. And I had like one small piece of chocolate. I wanted to share that with you just to let you know how things are going with that. And with that being said, I got to run. I got things to do and get back to what I was doing. So God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye.